Okay, we're going to start the recording and let me get my slides up here. All right, greetings from EPA Region 4 Environmental Justice Program. My name is Tammy Thomas Burton. I am currently the Regional EJ Coordinator for Region 4. I have put together a short presentation today with 3 slides to share on our upcoming EPA funding through our environmental justice grants and cooperative agreements for the year 2022 and 2023. I have 5 different funding types that I will cover today. And we encourage you to share this information, these slides and this recording with your constituents and community partners. I have also included various web links on these slides for you to explore and get as much detailed information as you like outside of what I'll provide today. Our EJ, excuse me, our EPA EJ program, starting now with nationally, we have $40 million in EJ grants. This budget has increased substantially from our last year's budget. And this is a very good thing for our communities in the Southeast. EPA Region 4 covers 8 states and 6 federally recognized tribes. The states are Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. And the projects that are funded through our EJ grants through this vehicle are to serve the communities in these states that I've listed. On the first slide, we have our first national funding will be for $10 million. And this is going to our EJ Small Grants Program. Successful proposals will be granted a $100,000 for a 1-year project. We encourage you to visit our EJ website to view some of the past successful projects. I've also included a link on a slide for that. At the end, the proposals that come through the EJ Small Grants are designed to support and empower communities working on solutions to local environmental and public health issues. Typically, this funding is geared towards nonprofit organizations with their 501c3 status. If you don't have that status, we encourage you community organizations to partner with other local nonprofits or obtain your own 501c3. We anticipate that the RFA, which is the request for applications to be posted next year on the grants.gov website in the spring-summer timeframe of 2023. So there's plenty of time to start writing your draft proposals and bringing partners together. If you don't have your nonprofit status, maybe you can obtain it before the RFA is announced. Our second funding, nationwide funding package is for another $10 million, and it's going to our EJ CPS. The CPS stands for Collaborative Problem Solving, Cooperative Agreement Grants. So these grants are designed to assist recipients in building collaborative partnerships to help them understand and address environmental and public health concerns in their communities. The project proposals that you submit, they must demonstrate the use of EPA's EJ Collaborative Problem Solving Model. And again, this model is on our website for you to take a look at. There's 7 steps. Typically, this funding is geared towards nonprofit organizations, federally recognized tribal governments, and Native American organizations. There will be 20 proposals awarded nationally, meaning there are 2 projects that will be selected at $500,000 each in each of our 10 EPA regions. So 2 selected recipients per region in our 10 regions. These projects can also have a 3 to 5 year project period to complete the work. Eligibility to applicants are typically nonprofit organizations, federally recognized tribal governments, and Native American organizations. There will be some new special considerations in these grants. They are going to look at projects that are addressing climate, disaster recovery, and emergency preparedness. Also projects focusing on performing a health impact assessment or an HIA. and projects focused on in rural areas. Now, they're not just limited to those, but they're going to be giving some special considerations if your projects are geared around those topics. We anticipate that the RFA, the request for applications, to be posted on grants.gov this October of 2022. Excuse me. Our third nationwide funding on this slide is for 20 million, and this is going to our SEJCA, which is an acronym for State Local Environmental Justice Cooperative Agreement Grants. That's long-winded. But this funding, in this funding category, we split the 20 million two ways. 10 million going to our state and local applicants, and the other 10 million to our federally recognized tribes for projects. The SEJCA, the State Environmental Justice Cooperative Agreement Program, is designed to work collaboratively with underserved communities to understand, promote, and integrate approaches to provide meaningful and measurable improvements to public health and or the environment in those communities. There will be 20 awards nationally, ranging from $500,000 to $1 million for each project, with the aim of at least one award each region. Eligible applicants are typically state governments, local governments, federally recognized tribes, and U.S. territories. We anticipate that this RFA, the request for applications, to be posted on the grants.gov website this November 2022. So before I move on to the second slide, I've highlighted at the bottom of this slide a disclaimer that all of the information that I'm providing today is subject to change until the RFA, the request for application, is posted on the grants.gov. Once it's posted, those are your final funding numbers and requirements for the applicants. Okay, let's move to the second slide. Here, I'm going to be covering two new and exciting funding packages that are coming out of our Office of Environmental Justice. The first item on the slide, which is our fourth funding package, is called TIC-TAC, or TC, which stands for Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers. And, excuse me, the request for proposal was just posted on the grants.gov website on Friday, August 5th, 2022. The vision for these centers is to be a one-stop shop technical assistance center for centers for underserved communities. The centers will provide an unprecedented level of support to help ensure that federal resources are equitably distributed and meet on-the-ground environmental justice challenges. The funding for this is coming through through the bipartisan infrastructure law funding. Also, I'm pleased to announce that the funding available under this first year is in partnership with the Department of Energy, with future phases of up to 10 multi-year awards. So what that means is that the goal is to have one center in each of the 10 EPA office regions. Each recipient for TIC-TAC, Thriving Communities, will receive $2 million each year for a 3-year period, totaling $6 million for the grant cycle. The RFA was published in grants.gov again on Friday, August 5th, 2022, and you will have 60 days. You have a 60-day deadline of October 4th to submit your applications. They also anticipate that the selections will be made in January of 2023, and those that are selected will be awarded in March of 2023. Eligible applicants include public and private universities and colleges, public and private nonprofit institutions and organizations, and intertribal consortia. I will say that EPA is strongly encouraging all eligible applicants to apply under this opportunity, including minority serving institutions like HBCUs, which are our historically Black colleges and universities, also our tribal colleges and universities, our Hispanic serving institutions, and our Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander serving institutions. And we're also encouraging universities, business schools, and business programs to apply. One more thing on the TIC-TAC, EPA will be hosting 2 pre-application assistance calls and webinars, and I'll cover those dates on my next and last slide. But we have one more item on this slide, which is our 5th funding package. And this one is also new and exciting, which is our Fund the Funder subaward pilot for our EJ small grants. So the concept here is, again, this is a pilot. EPA is looking to select 1 to 2 entities or organizations to manage the EJ small grants program. The organization will manage the competition process and will subaward the funds to the proposals, to the EJ small grant proposals that are selected. Now, the small EJ grants that are selected will now be a sort of a sub grantee to the new Fund the Funder program. So the small grantee recipients will receive their funding through the Fund the Funder program and not EPA. If you are selected, no, if you're interested in being selected to run the Fund the Funder program, they're looking for 1 to 2 organizations to run this pilot again, and those organizations will that entity will receive an estimated $10 million to run the program. Eligible applicants include nonprofits, colleges and universities, and intertribal consortia. The RFA, or the request for application, is anticipated to post on the grants.gov in September of this year of 2022. Okay, my last slide, third slide, last slide. This is information on what is soon approaching our pre-application assistance calls and webinars hosted by our EPA headquarters Office of Environmental Justice, specifically for the TIC-TAC, the Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers. This is a Q&A session, a question and answer session, and it will be held, we have 2 dates, Tuesday, August 16th, and the following week, Thursday, August 25th. Both are going to be held between 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You must visit the website I've listed here on this slide to get the Zoom link. This is a national call, so there will be many participants on this call with their questions. I encourage you to write down your questions ahead of time. I'm sure they'll probably manage questions by the hand raise function, first come, first serve, and also with the ability to place your questions in the chat. So we always record these type of sessions so you can review them and, review what was said or whatever question was asked. The last 3 web links I've added to this slide include our EJ websites. You'll find past project grants that, successful stories there to give you some ideas on projects that you could potentially do. One idea sparks the next. And these are all the projects that have happened across the country. I encourage you also to sign up for the EJ listserv and the grants listserv. You simply provide your email to get the latest announcements. So I will end here, and I hope you will share this PowerPoint and recording with your constituents and partners in Region 4, also known as the Southeast. And I wish you much, much success on your proposals you submit. And thank you for your time today.